hello, Sanbonani, good people. Hi, it's Yanga the MC again. I'm coming to you on a Saturday, and I'm hoping you're in a better space than what I am. I want to tell you so much about it, but of course, no, I don't want to waste your time because there's such a lot that's happening this week. I've got a guest with me today, Ntombi, but I'll introduce her as the time goes by. Obviously, firstly, I just want to make mention to all the comments, all the suggestions that we've been receiving during the week. Thank you to everyone who has been coming in, everyone who has been listening in to some of our content, people who've taken in from what we're saying, and people who've been giving us a lot of feedback. We appreciate that. We want to thank everyone for their involvement, as well as everyone who's helping us push this passion, So thank you very, very much. It's been that type of week, of course, for me. I hope people who've listened to the last show, a lot was said. Yeah, I had a bit to say then, but let's let that be left. Let's let bygones be bygones. Of course, the nice thing with our podcast is you guys do get a chance to go back to our links. You get a chance to listen to our previous sessions. So you do get to listen to that session that I was busy with last week, for example, and the one I was busy with that week. I've had some interesting guests. So if you've missed any of these, you can still go back. They are on our empowerment podcast. We are here to make sure that we equip. We are here to make sure that we inspire and that we empower. So thank you very, very much. Again, just before I do get to introduce my lovely guest to you, do make sure you tune in. Do make sure you carry on with the support. We are grateful for that. On Facebook, we are available. On Instagram, we are available. We are available on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. We are there on YouTube and Twitter as well. My word. I don't know why I never make sure that the number that you guys can also contact us on for WhatsApp is available for some other reason. But yeah, don't worry, I'll take stick for that. Next time I'll be sure to make it available. So thank you, good people. So let me dive into this week's show. And I've got with me Sis Ntombifuthi Hlangu. Why is my Zulu so bad? I always struggle when I read Zulu. I don't understand this. Anyways, welcome, Sis Ntombi.
Yeah, thank you, Yanga, for having me. Hello to everyone listening, and hi.
No, hopefully a lot of people will be listening because I'm hoping a lot of people will want to take a lot from what we will be talking about today. But I'll let you introduce you and let's first get to know who Ntombi is. Let's first get that step out of the way. So introduce yourself, Sis Ntombi, to the public in general. Let's get to know who Ntombi is, etc., etc.
Okay, so my name is, of course, Ntombifuthi Hlangu. I am a founder. I'm the founder of Ozano Bakes. So I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, a sister, a very focused person who is very, very business driven. Not much to tell. So
No, there can't be not much. I want to know where he's from, if anyone is listening that didn't be associating, Mkaya. Tell us, I want to know from the beginning, where it all started, high school, primary, a bit of that type of background.
Okay, you want to go back that far? Okay. Yeah, we have to go back many, many years ago, Yanga. I'm not young anymore. So I am from a place called Efolweni, just close to Umbumbulu.
Okay,
That's where I was born. I grew up. Yes, I went to primary there and finished off my high school in Mlazi, Ogwini High School. And then, after that, I decided, I want to do advertising.
Okay.
Because I remember watching advertising right after high school. I thought, I'm going to be an advertiser. So basically, the content creator, the creative, the brain behind the ad, basically. And I remember I registered at UT and, I was like, okay, there was IMM marketing available, which sort of covered all the bases. So if you wanted to do advertising, you can also do that. So this was inspired by Generations, by the way, back in the days. If you remember Generation, I used to sit and watch and be like, I want to do that. I remember I even had the book where I would write out ads. I was like creating ads in my brain. But anyway, growing up, I went to, I did IMM marketing, got my diploma. And then you know how it goes, hey, job hunting.
Yeah.
Apparently you have to have like 10 years experience right off college. So that did not work. I ended up finding a job as a buyer in a company. It was a very junior position. So I was doing import and exports. And stayed in that company for 5 years. And this passion for baking just kept on coming and coming and coming and just growing inside me. And then, like they said, the rest is history. Yeah.
Until you couldn't ignore it any further.
You can't. I used to just, bake on the weekends, go with, baked goods on Mondays to work. And my colleagues would just indulge. Until this one time, one colleague of mine was like, I have a birthday coming up. Can you bake a cake for me? I was like, what? Like, I'll pay you. I'm like, okay.
And only
he said the magic word, you will pay.
Okay.
I was like, but obviously, I've seen custom made cakes before. I've seen how they the centerpiece of all the parties, and I was nervous. I was like, I've never done this before. I was like, what am I going to do? I wasn't worried too much about the sponge part of, the baking.
Yeah.
But I was worried more about, how are my cakes going to appear? Oh, dear Lord, it was a mess. But a mess that I learned from. It's true what they say, practice does, make perfect.
Of course. No, thank you, Ntombi. And I think if a lot of people wondering why I'm actually having Ntombi as my guest today, she basically takes care of all our family needs. I remember we were getting married some 2 years back, and sorry, my wife will kill me. What did I just say? Back. And she just introduced herself to me or to us with the most spectacular present in the form of our wedding cake. From then on, it was just, which number to dial for our birthdays, for whatever celebration we had. So this was our go-to person. But I want you to now introduce the brand now, Ozano Bakes. Obviously, that name must have had some kind of thought process behind it. I want you to introduce us to that dream and that vision and what that brand really is and where you're really looking at that brand in, say, the next future.
The name it came very easy for me. My daughter's name is Zanoguhle.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, she's the inspiration behind everything that I do. So her name for short is Zano. So I don't know. They all was sort of like, what do I want people to feel, or what is the reaction that I want when people are eating some of the stuff that I make? So I was like, this is good. It was kind of a funny feel to it as well. But I didn't want it to be too formal, like a old school type of feel. I wanted to have easy to remember, fun play, easy thing to, so that's how the name came about. And obviously I have big dreams about this bakery. It's only the beginning, when you start something, obviously you kind of have a vision.
True.
But everything is a working process. I don't want to reveal too much, but yeah, there's big things coming. We're in a good space now in terms of clientele.
Mm-hmm.
We have like really, really, what you call, I'm trying to think of it, but loyal customers. That's what I'm trying to think of. Loyal customers, people who stay true to, what we offer and are forever excited. We try to be consistent as well, when you buy something, you're like, the last order was way better than this. We're trying to be, consistent in that regard.
It's great. No, that's great. It's great hearing, the kind of stories that actually talk about the start. I always stress about what is one of the hardest things for so many entrepreneurs, so many business women, so many businessmen, so many people, youngsters out there. It's always the same hurdle that almost takes away so much from us. And it's just the start, It's always about us thinking about all the logistics that follow, but we have forgotten that it's just the start that does get you onto the freeway, and everything else sometimes does actually just come to play and actually just eventually sort itself out as you're already on the process. So thanks for that, Ntombi. It's great hearing that there's prospects on the way. It's great hearing that there's that much to wait for and that much to anticipate from this. But I want to just also come back here for a second. You've spoken to me now about the fact that there was a position that you occupied, there was something that you were busy with, an 8 to 4, and then there was that process or that stage where you were like, no, this is probably going to be it now. I've got bills to pay, yes. I've got that salary coming at the end of the month, yes. But I'm actually not going to depend on that salary anymore. I'm going to depend on what I am producing with my own hands. So you've now turned into an entrepreneur just then. So I wanted to take us through that process. How difficult a decision is that to actually say, okay, great. I'm actually taking or moving away from my comfort zone, because for a second there, I'm sure you probably were not sure how you're going to pay the rent if this business doesn't go according to plan. How are you going to do 1, 2, 3 things if this business doesn't go? So that thought process for us entrepreneurs here and there, how difficult a decision is that?
Most definitely, Yanga. It wasn't an easy one. But I think mostly not making the decision, like choosing something and sticking to it, it's what causes the anxiety and, causes you to be scared and everything. Because it took me, I think, about a good 2 years, because I was taking orders while I was doing, the full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
And it came to
at the same time.
Juggling, in 8 to 5 and doing my own thing on the side. And it came to a point where I would get so many orders and I would be like, okay, I was telling people I'm fully booked because I am physically unable to now. I'm only doing this. I'm working from home. I'm the only one. And obviously with the hours that I was working, it did not make sense to bring someone on board. So it was like, okay, you need to make a decision and stick to that decision. And amazingly enough, once I did make a decision, everything just fell into place. It was just amazing how all the horrible things I was thinking of not having money to pay the rent and just sort of just fell away because I made a decision that I'm going to stick to this and do this with everything in me, and everything just worked out. I guess as well, obviously making a decision, it came down to how happy does this job makes me.
True.
the moment I take my mixing bowl, the moment I take my spatula, it doesn't matter what stress I have, it disappears. That's how much baking makes me feel. And I was like, I'm doing something I love so much and I'm able to make money. Why would I even, struggle choosing? Why have I been struggling choosing for so long?
I know. Man.
So it's just one of those things, and I'm beyond grateful that it worked out, and I am where I am today and going strong.
No, thanks, Toby, and hopefully even to our young ones listening, we're trying to make sure the youth is involved. We're trying to make sure that they impact and they're making the difference that we're looking for, because we want to make that kind of change to say we can't be every day thinking and drooling over opportunities that we are saying are not available, etc., etc. Here's a beautiful example of you following your passion and you following something you've in love with, and now it's basically your bread and butter. It's basically your monthly salary. If you wake up, you're doing something to make sure that and if you don't wake up, well, okay, I'm getting a hit there. Yes. So you're your own boss, everything. So all that comes to this. But on your end, if there's something that you'd probably want to address with the current youth that we are with, and maybe their type of challenges and how you'd like to associate how your journey has been, like what would be the one thing you'd want to probably throw their way?
Oh yeah. Obviously when we talk a lot about dream big, follow your dreams, and it doesn't make much sense when you're younger, because it's just, you're young, you don't understand, and until you grow up and you put in situations where I was fortunate, obviously I had a job before this, so I took my time, weighing my options and all that. But it just doesn't end with taking that step and saying, I'm going to do this full time. Hard work. It's hard work, Yanga. It's running your own business is no joke. Like, you are faced with so much. You think you have it under control, you have it covered, and the customer will just throw something at you and just challenge you, I'm forever learning. The industry is forever introducing new trends, and people are just, wanting these trends. But it's just work hard, love what you do.
Definitely. And you're obviously looking at just being that flexible and making sure that you up in touch with the latest trends. There's so much with your industry. I'm actually scared, at least with but no, let me not get into my stream. No, thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Toby. I'm sure those listening in will probably take a lot from everything that we've spoken about. They will probably want to see actually a lot, because I'm quite confident when people do get to see what we're talking about as well, they'll actually be wowed. Some of the designs you've come up with. Recently came up with a design for my birthday, and I was like, wow. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that was easily inspired.
So let's make sure people get to see you. Let's make sure people get to see Ozano Bakes. So where do people go? Where do people touch and follow if they want to like and see some of your work, and obviously contact you if they're looking for something more or less that what you're busy with?
Okay, we are available on Facebook as Ozano Bakes, so OZANO Bakes. Instagram, it's Ozano_Bakes, and they can reach us on WhatsApp as well, 060-329-6656. The number again is 060-329-6656. That number is also available for calls. And then if you just send a WhatsApp, you are able to be sent a link automatically that will take you through to our catalog. So you can get to see the prices and the work that we do. And obviously, if you're looking for something different, we have a chat and we put it together.
You can almost give us an idea and we can execute.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, no. So that is ozano_bakes. That is Ozano Bakes on Facebook. That was Instagram. And the number one last time, Ntombi, before I do let you go.
It's 060 329 6656.
Okay. Hoping those listening and those curious are with your pens and making sure that you've taken those handles. I'm assuring you, probably not going to regret this. So, Ntombi, maybe in closing, anything that you'd want to pass before I close this show and look at my weekend ahead?
Thank you so much for having me, and looking forward to making even better cakes for everyone out there listening. Yes, do contact us, please. We are ready to make your orders. And just follow your dreams, guys. You never know where they might take you. Just take that step. You won't regret. At least if you fail, you can say, I tried, And you won't ever what if,
Yeah, I think a friend of mine always mentions that, actually, acronym for fail. He always mentions it's actually your first attempt in learning. Failing is actually part of learning. It's not the end of the way. It's actually a step towards the right direction. And a lot of people always just the end of the road when it's never. Thank you, Ntombi. You've been a great sport. You've been a great guest. Hoping that listeners will actually learn and take from you. To you, my favorite listeners, I thank you always for coming through. I thank you always for supporting, and do make sure that you carry on pushing this passion. And up until next week, Saturday, I will be back. So thank you again, and bye-bye.
Bye.